Greetings, this is Dinah Monahan.
And Damon Evans bringing you Pro-Life Perspectives. This program is about all things pro-life. It's sponsored by White Mountain Tees and Snowflake. White Mountain Tees provides screen printing, embroidery, banner printing, merchandise with your logo on it, and much more for the White Mountain community. Whether it's 25 t-shirts for your family reunion or 5,000 for your big event, they can do it. Businesses can have a professional look with embroidered logos on jackets, hats, and other apparel.
And Damon, they deliver. Yep, they deliver your order right to your door. From Payson to Winslow, Pinetop to Springerville. They bring it right to you.
Go to whitemountaintees.com. That's whitemountaintees.com, or stop by their shop in Snowflake. So Dinah, in our previous broadcast, you talked about Planned Parenthood, and I have to say I was really shocked at how evil and deceptive they are. And I understand today we're going to talk about the founder of Planned Parenthood, Margaret Sanger.
We sure are. And boy, people don't realize who she was and what she stood for. Margaret Sanger is held up today as a hero of women's rights. The reality is that Sanger was an extreme racist and promoted murder of children. She spewed racism and a desire to use eugenics to create a master race.
And we all know someone else in recent history that wanted to create a master race, and he killed 7 million people to do it.
Funny you should say that. Margaret Sanger had very strong ties with the Nazis. After all, they both had the same goal, a master race. A German psychiatrist named Ernst Rudin was the president of the International Federation of Eugenics in Cold Spring Harbor, New York, which was funded, interestingly, by the Carnegie Corporation. In 1933, his call for racial purity was published in Sanger's Birth Control Review. Later, Rudin would be chosen by Hitler to write Germany's eugenic laws, and at one point he personally helped the Gestapo round up and sterilize between 500 and 600 blacks, who they referred to as Rhineland bastards. After the war, Rudin would be identified as one of the architects of the barbaric medical experiments that the Nazis carried out in their concentration camps.
I can't imagine many people know that connection.
You know, there's a second connection that's even more damning. In 1927, Sanger organized the World Population Conference in Geneva, Switzerland. She gave it front-page coverage in her magazine. The events program, and which exists today, the events program documents that among those who are given leadership in the conference, not just attended, but singled out and put in leadership positions, was Eugen Fischer, the man who would eventually lead the Nazi effort to eradicate blacks from Europe.
It's so hard to believe, Dinah. You might say she didn't know what they were about, except for the fact that they were colleagues in the American eugenics movement. Just the word eugenics implies that the inferior members of humanity, non-white races, pollute the gene pool and should be at least sterilized and, in the extreme, eradicated. How did Margaret Sanger get to this point?
Well, her own writings show that she was a morally vacuous person who had a hedonistic view of sexuality and utter contempt for the poor, the handicapped, and blacks. She was a prolific writer, and as much as Planned Parenthood decries the depiction of her as a racist eugenist, her views on these issues are archived in Smith College in New York for all to read. Margaret Sanger was born to a poor, large family of 11 children. Her mother died when she was 9, and this embittered her, not against the disease that took her mother, but against large families. That grew into a dark contempt for children and motherhood in general, and the poor, uneducated, handicapped, and unfortunate in particular. This theme is found throughout her writings. In The Need for Birth Control in America, she wrote, listen to this, "Such parents swell the pathetic ranks of the unemployed. Feeble-mindedness perpetuates itself from the ranks of those who are blandly indifferent to their racial responsibilities. In this orgy of multiplying and replenishing the earth, this type is multiplying and perpetuating those direst evils in which we must, if civilization is to survive, extirpate by their very roots."
So I'm just pulling up that word, extirpate, because I don't know it. It means to remove or destroy totally, to do away with and exterminate, to pull up by or as if by the roots. Boy, Dinah, no wonder she got along so well with the Nazis.
Oh, she gets better. In her book, Women and the New Race, Chapter 6, entitled The Wickedness of Creating Large Families, she wrote, "The most merciful thing that a large family does to one of its infant members is to kill it." Well, her dream has come true in Planned Parenthood.
I can't believe I'm hearing that right. She wrote publicly that it is merciful to kill an infant in a large family. This is just demonic.
You heard right. She promoted murder, and her legacy, Planned Parenthood, is carrying on her dream as the largest abortion industry in the country.
We did 2 episodes on Planned Parenthood just recently, and I hope our listeners will check that out because you're going to be shocked with the reality of this institution.
Damon, we're almost out of time, but I want to make sure our listeners know about our New Hope Pregnancy Resource Center in Show Low, Springerville, and White River. We're the opposite of Planned Parenthood. They offer death, and we offer life, and all for free. Pregnancy tests, ultrasounds, parenting, and life skill classes, abortion and trauma healing classes, and so much more. And each time a client takes a class, they earn boutique bucks to purchase necessities for their babies and toddlers. We have new car seats, strollers, formula, clothing, baby food, diapers, wipes, and more. If you or someone you know could use our services, call us at 928-599-1986.
Well, yes, we are out of time, Dinah. This has been so great. We're going to continue this conversation next week, right? Hey, can I drop a little dad joke on you that I thought of this morning and I'm awfully proud of?
What's that?
All right, it goes like this. Have you ever had someone blow your mind by explaining the history of the pro-life movement? Dynamite. And don't miss a single episode of Pro-Life Perspectives. You can find them on Dinah Monahan's YouTube channel. From there, you can forward them to your friends and family and let the light shine on the darkness of abortion. Just search for Dinah Monahan on YouTube and hit follow so you won't miss an episode. What is coming for next week, Dinah?
Well, we're going to do part 2 because Margaret Sanger has a lot more for us. Until next week, be safe,
be blessed,
be kind,
and love life.